Let's get started with today's Monday morning message. Today, I want to be speaking about the secret to stopping wasting life. If you ask most people what's the most valuable resource in life, some might say money, etc., etc., but we all know that time and energy, the energy that we have as human beings to do, to create, to make things happen, is the most valuable resource. You see the top of the top entrepreneurs, you see people who are monks, their whole idea is focusing their energy so that they don't dissipate their energy into multiple things. Energy is one of the most valuable resources we have as a human being. And today I want to talk about how to stop wasting life, not wasting money, but actually life. How can we stop wasting life? What's the secret to that? And hence I come to the point of desires. I want to contrast two things. I want to contrast conscious desires and unconscious desires. See, as human beings, we are a creature of desires. We always have desires. To do anything, we need to desire. To play football, to drink water, to go use the toilet. Desire is an innate thing that human beings have. We must have desires to exist and create and make things happen as human beings. But the biggest question then becomes is, what is the nature of our desires? Is it conscious or is it unconscious desires? And I'm telling you, the secret to stopping wasting life is having conscious desires and going away from unconscious desires. That is the secret, guys. Focusing on the conscious desires and going away from unconscious desires. Naren, I'm a little confused. What do you mean? Unconscious desires, conscious desires. Stay with me. It might get a little deep, but stay with me so that you can get the most out of what I'm trying to explain. So folks, I would say that a lot of us think that we desire something, that we want something, whether it's a big car or a big home. But let me tell you, oftentimes, actually, a lot of the desires that we have, that you and I have in our minds, is not actually what we want, but actually what the culturescape has given to us. Does that make sense? It's actually what society and the culturescape, as we call it, has implanted in us, and we think we actually desire it. Let me give you my example. There was a time in my life about 4 or 5 years ago when I was just beginning college, and I had the desire, after college I'll be successful. It would be great to have a big home, a really nice car, blah blah blah, the typical things that people think everybody desires. And after certain experiences in college, after traveling, after certain meditation courses, I realized within myself, you know what, Naren? Do you actually desire a huge home, a super big home with acres of land? Or is it a desire that's implanted in you by the culturescape? Is it actually a conscious desire, or is it just an unconscious desire you've taken upon because everybody thinks they want a big home? People ask, what's your dream car? And my dream car used to change every week because I didn't really care about the car, a really fancy car. That was not a conscious desire within me. And hence, my mind, our minds are implanted with so many such unconscious desires that we are wasting our life and our energy pursuing. Because here is what I know. After speaking to people who are so-called very successful in their 50s, in their 60s, they reach a certain point and they say, you know what, I still feel empty, I still feel unfulfilled. And the biggest reason is they went after pursuing their unconscious desires the whole time and didn't pay too much attention to their conscious desires. Now Naren, how do you differentiate between conscious and unconscious desires? How do you differentiate between conscious and unconscious desires? And here is the litmus test. Here is a test that I think, a simple test, but that differentiates between conscious and unconscious desires. The question, the test, the filter that you got to pass through to check if there's a conscious or an unconscious desire is the following. You take a desire, let's say I want a big car, I want a Rolls Royce, and then you pass it through the filter of, would I actually like a Rolls Royce if nobody was watching, or if nobody knew I had a Rolls Royce? Would I actually enjoy that experience? And if the answer is yes, I would still enjoy the Rolls Royce because of the feature, because of the engine, because of how much I care about motor vehicles and machines, even if people are not watching, that's probably a conscious desire of yours. That probably still makes you fulfilled, even if others aren't watching, even if society is not watching, even if the culturescape is not watching. But if you would like a Rolls Royce, you think, and then you think, but if nobody is watching, I actually don't care about a Rolls Royce. It's just that it would give me pleasure if everybody was watching and they knew I had a Rolls Royce. That's probably a desire that's implanted in you by society, by the culturescape. And hence, it's probably an unconscious desire. And even if you get it, after a point you would be unfulfilled, because you went after the whole energy was put towards getting it, achieving it, and you realize it wasn't even something that tingled you from within. It was just a desire that came unconsciously to you from the culturescape. Does that make sense? So, for different people, it might mean different things. For me, I realized a big car, a Rolls Royce doesn't matter. But I know some friends who really care actually about a great engine. They are passionate about motor vehicles and they really think they would enjoy driving a machinery even if nobody was watching. Superb. For me, a very conscious desire is traveling. Even if the world does not know I am traveling, I would still enjoy that experience so much. Even if I don't put up a story on Instagram, I would still enjoy traveling and going to certain places. And that, I know, is a conscious desire, because even if nobody knows, I would enjoy it. I wouldn't care too much if I don't have a huge house, even if I had the money to buy it, because it's not something that comes from within me. I know it's a desire implanted in my mind through the culturescape. I know it was a little deep, but I hope you got the litmus test. The litmus test is the most important test. When you have desires, you got to filter it through. If nobody was watching, would you still want that? And if you would still want that if nobody knew and nobody was watching, that means you truly desire for that, and that would actually fulfill you and make your heart tingle. That's a conscious desire. This Monday morning message, the credit goes to a lot of the people that I communicate with, a lot of my mentors, a lot of people that I speak to, some meditation courses that I took that brought forth this important lesson for my life that I wanted to share today. In fact, even Warren Buffett has something called the 5-25 rule, I think, which is very interesting. He says, list the top 25 things in your life, priorities that you want. Forget the last 20 and just focus on the top 5. That's talking about what you really care about, focusing your energy towards that. Because life has limited energy, limited resources, and let's do and fulfill and focus on things that really are our conscious desires, that really fulfill us, regardless of whatever desires the society has placed in us. So folks, that was the Monday morning message from my side. How to stop wasting life. The secret to stop wasting life is to understand the difference between conscious and unconscious desires. Conscious desires are something that would fulfill you even if nobody was watching. Something that tingles your heart, something that truly comes from within you. Unconscious desires are desires that are implanted to us through society, through the culturescape, that actually we just keep pursuing but won't really fulfill us. And hence, we got the litmus test to see, okay, if I did get what I was desiring and nobody was watching, would I still want that? And if you still want that, that's the conscious desire. And that's something probably worth pursuing. I'm always happy to be here live Monday 9 a.m. India time with you guys, sharing a new message. And I can't wait to continue that.